It's 6:15 in Puma, same time in Douala, in the littoral region of Cameroon. Thanks for joining us on the 6:15 primetime newscast on Canal International. My name is Gladys Ambudiba. Stay tuned for the headlines. 26% is the execution rate of the public investment projects in the northwest region of Cameroon. The low rate has been partly blamed on the constant interruption by separatist fighters in the region, whom an honorable has pleaded with them to make way for works to be carried out because development has no tribal nor political difficulty or political affiliation. And bad roads and deplorable state of roads in Douala, Cameroon's economic city, inhabitants are lamenting that this hampers their daily activities. But the Douala city mayor has reassured them of rehabilitation works, citing challenges that has led to delays. And the SDF member of parliament has cleared public confusion on the party's press release on the visits of French President Emmanuel Macron to Cameroon. The release by the party chairman John Frondi on July 24 has sparked conflicting views, with some Cameroonians and SDF militants tagging him as an ally to the head of state and the CPDM party. Those were our headlines. Stay tuned for developments.
Canal International.
Thanks for joining us once again. You're watching the Primetime Newscast in the English language. And we begin with the northwest region of Cameroon to talk about the execution investment projects in that region. 26% is actually the rate which officials there say has been hampered by, or the slow state has been hampered by fighters or separatist fighters in that area, and has called on them to make way for work. Members of the regional follow-up committee in Bamenda were examining the ground covered and how to forge ahead in the next month. The details in that report.
Midway into the 2022 financial year, the level of execution of the public investment projects in the northwest region stands at barely 26%. That is the main outcome of the follow-up committee meeting that held in Bamenda on Thursday, July 28.
10.2 billion is equal to 499 projects. And out of the 499 projects, as we are coming out of the hall, 84 projects have been executed at 100%. 185 are ongoing, 230 still to take off the ground, giving us a percentage realization of 26.2.
After going through a slideshow projection of some finished and ongoing project sites, the meeting condemned the poor technical work done by some contractors, congratulated those well done, while the follow-up committee president, Honorable Wallang Richards, pleaded with separatist fighters to make way for works to be carried out because development has no tribal nor political affiliation.
I use this opportunity to beg our brothers that even if it is which form, this road development does not have eyes. Any project that is given to any village, any subdivision, any division, we should take it with our two hands. It is our country. That's our own share of the national cake.
More than 1 year after demolition, the population of Bamenda will have to wait a little longer for urban roads, as contract adjustments for the 17 to 30 meters wide roads are still to be made. According to the delegates of urban development, 2 billion francs CFA have already been spent on the newly tarred 2.5 kilometers road from Tradex Up Station to Welcome to Bamenda out of the 50
This is Peka 21, a locality in the economic capital of Cameroon. Population of this neighborhood live a nightmare as far as mobility is concerned. This stretch of road from Peka 12 to 21, there will be no moments of free movement, whether during rainy or dry season.
On doit se déplacer, chercher le pain quotidien.
It is not easy to move around, as you can see, to look for daily bread. With the state of the road, we find difficulties of arriving in the main town in search of petty jobs.
Nous avons des difficultés à aller soit vers la ville faire les petits jobs.
Drivers are often obliged to move on pedestrian pavements to obtain smooth movement, thereby hindering pedestrians from free movement. Subjected to the torments of the impassable state of road, motorists and their machines pay a heavy price.
Comme vous le constatez, nous-mêmes qui faisons les motos là vraiment.
As you can see, we the bike riders, we face many challenges. We are always in the garage repairing our bikes. We beg the Cameroonian government to help us improve the state of our roads. This population are calling on the government to change the situation. While waiting for a third or favorable road, they persist in waves of the mud.
Evaluation, assessment of budget. And what we can say that we have improved our revenues and we are doing well with the expenditures. And the only one thing is about the beats. We have some problems in this issue, but we are trying to resolve it with the help of government.
Prior to the visit of the French president to Cameroon on July 25th to 26th, the chairman of the Social Democratic Front, John Frundi, like other political party leaders, sent out the expectations of the party to President Paul Biya to guide his discussions with Emmanuel Macron. A press release that has caused tongues waxing both from the public and some party bigwigs. While some tag him of allying with the head of state, others say that he, by that outing, is supporting him in the logic of succession by mutual agreement. To clear the air, one of the party pillars, Chinda Fobin Simon, this July 28, addresses a letter of clarification to the party militants in particular and Cameroonians at large. The former member of parliament underlines that the purpose of the chairman's statement on the sovereignty of the Cameroonian people was to ask Paul Biya to respect, protect and defend the sovereignty of Cameroon from the hands of Western powers, and asking the president to shoulder his constitutional responsibilities should not be misinterpreted for a pact of any kind. He reiterates that John Frundi's press release was equally an eye-opener for Paul Biya to review colonial agreements that are detrimental to Cameroonians. The rejoinder also emphasizes that the clause of the release on transition at the helm of the state was meant to remind the President of the Republic that Cameroon needs a peaceful, credible and acceptable political transition. This to be done following the respect of state institutions and the possible revival of the electoral code. It should be recalled that aside the press release on Macron's visit, the resolutions of the NEC meeting of July 23rd have also been criticized by the Buddha G27 members, indicating a number of irregularities.
They had 17 complaint files before them during this 31st ordinary session, and after about 7 hours of examining the files, the National Communication Council arrived at some firm decisions against the media houses and the journalists concerned. Bruno Bijang, Owona Taji, and Semi Ekom of Vision Cards Television suspended from exercising the journalism profession in Cameroon for a period of 1 month, following a complaint case against them by Richard Olivier Manga after their Tour d'Horizon program of May 16 and 17, and their colleague Christophe Biya slammed a 2-month suspension following a complaint by Vogo Emeline, head of taxation for Center 1, stating that the concern damaged her image in their 8 p.m. newscast of April 13. 7 newspapers, L'Expression, La République, L'Élite, Le Pélican, Perspective, Le Quotidien, Le National, all bargained home a 1-month suspension each, following complaints against them by Maurice Kamto, president of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement, with motives of publishing unsubstantial declarations. Aside the suspension decisions, the National Communication Council has equally addressed a series of warning letters to some media organs and journalists for a couple of irregularities.
According to Carlo Federico Preno, President of the Scientific Council, this session is an occasion to lay out strategies to increase the fight against HIV and strategies to seek for solutions on the illness of cancer and also to work on the issue of COVID-19.
Ce que j'ai vu dans ces périodes a été une activité très forte.
What I have seen in these past years are powerful activities that I have continuously been following from far. I am very happy to officially start in this scientific research center, and I believe in Central Africa, this is one of the main centers who projects the future. Gathered round the table, doctors, professors and workers evaluating the achievement made in the Chantal Biya International Reference Center for the year 2021. Assess the recommendation made at the last December 9 session as they work towards examining measures being respected and the loopholes. Happy of taking part in this ordinary session, the president of the Scientific Council of this center expressed his gratitude for the work done for the past years, though greatly affected by COVID-19. Sounds of the flute. Thanks. Songs. And comedy.
Les femmes ont l'habitude de dire que nous les hommes, nous sommes les enfants d'une même mère. Mesdames, vous avez raison. Je suis d'accord avec vous.
Sounds and images to celebrate the 8 years of infotainment.
Digérer, je vais appeler un rigolo. Mané rigolo. Il va vous distraire en attendant. En attendant quoi? Même mon nom, le type là n'avait pas. Grégoire, le comédien là s'appelle comment? On lui dit Marcus. Marcus, viens prendre le micro, tu fais rire les gens.
Blending honor and fun, the skills of these talented artists.
Les garçons honnêtes, on va arriver dans cette certaine famille pour faire le toqué-porte d'une fille. Dès que la liste de la dot aura plus de 3 tirets.
An occasion to showcase the Cameroonian comedy and culture. Though a trial moment to the promoter and presenter of Comedy Press, Professor Aina, commonly called Le Marabout. He has been able to overcome the challenges.
Je suis convaincu que j'ai marqué un pas.
I have made a step forward. When I see a legend like the godfather of this activity, present here, I'm very happy and I believe in celebrating the 10 years of Comedy Press, which will be in the next 2 years, will be better than this.
Team, friends, artists like Kaiser Show, Isnobu, Le Chinois, Kegege International, Tagam 2, Longue Longue, and many others were part of the celebration.